it's our most important film. We've been working on it forever, and like I don't think we've ever been so passionate about anything, which is ridiculous because it's about sausages. But once we came up with the idea of doing like a fully CG, like Pixar style R-rated comedy, it just like became so entertaining to us that we became obsessed with it. And it took years to get someone to make it, and Megan Ellison finally came along, and she really gave us the money to get it going, and now we've been recording it, and the cast is just unbelievable. I can't believe all the people we got to be in the movie and play food items in the most ridiculous, disgusting ways. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be truly crazy.
Given the popularity and success of any number of R-rated comedies that are live action, why do you think it's been more difficult to get some of the raunchier animated movies? I mean, there have been a few. You know, the South Park guys got to have made their share, but you don't see a ton of them.
It's just the CG movies cost a lot of money, and we had to kind of like restructure how to do this financially relative to the normal process.
It's true. Only recently, I would say, could you technologically make a movie animated for the budget. Like, we're making Sausage Party for a similar budget as Neighbors. Like, so it's like, which is pretty cheap on the grand scale of studio comedies. So, like, we needed literally to wait for a point the technology got to the point that studios would take that risk. And to us, it was honestly shocking that they saw it as such a risk. Like, when we first went out and pitched it years ago, and first was told by everyone that they didn't want to buy it.
When were you pitching it?
Like 3 years ago, maybe.
So
2
after
years ago.
you'd already had a bunch of success with movies. And
we were like,
we had made Superbad, Pineapple Express,
like 50-50 just came out. Like well received.
Exactly. 50-50 had just come out. Like, we were doing very well, and we like literally thought like there'll be a bidding war. No one wanted to make it, and it was literally like the one thing that we were so psyched about was the same thing they all hated. We were like, it's the first R-rated CG comedy, and they're like, it's the first R-rated CG comedy. And like, as much as we want to be the first to do something, unfortunately, most movie studios do not want to be the first to do something. Right. They want precedent and numbers that show them
being exposed to any kind of risk.
Exactly. So,
and in the end, none of them would. So Megan Ellison stepped in.
And then Sony, to their credit, also like teamed up and is co-financing it and distributing the movie. And they've been very supportive of our insane ideas for years now.
they were the ones who came the closest to making it, but even them, they were just like, it's just so crazy.
I forget. Does your production company have a deal at Sony, or do you guys just make a lot of movies with Sony?
We just make a lot of
movies there. We like kind of started up with them largely, and Universal also. So like those are the two studios we have the closest connections with.
Yeah, but they're both. I mean, Donna Langley, who runs Universal, and Amy Pascal have both been very supportive of us. But recently, Amy in particular has let us make stuff that is truly mind-blowing that she's let us make it.
Are there ideas that, I'm sure there are, but what's something that you want to make that you haven't had a chance to really develop or put pieces together on yet?
Man, lately it's all, my answer would have been The Preacher until recently, and then we're doing that now. Like, that's something also we've been pursuing for years. I think the first meeting we had about it was in the trailer while we were filming Pineapple Express. Like, we've been pursuing it for like 7 years or something like that. And it's amazing that now we're actually, and we never stop pursuing it. When Sam Mendes had it, I literally emailed him asking if we could somehow be involved in it. Like, I've always...
So what is The Preacher?
It's a graphic novel comic book that this guy Garth Ennis wrote, who's my favorite comic book writer, and it's about it's a very strange and disgusting and subversive and hilarious and violent story about three. It's like a relationship between three people, but it's also it's very hard to summarize.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to summarize.
We should probably work on that.
Yeah, we need to work on it, but by the time it airs,
you'll have some time.
But it's a series, but we're doing it with AMC as we're writing a pilot for them right now.
Regardless of what it's about, you should watch it.
Yeah, and Sam Catlin, who worked on Breaking Bad, is our showrunner, so it's a very good team, it seems like.
So I'm curious, Evan, as someone a bit removed from this process. I asked Nick this, and I realize it's a sort of weird question to answer, but why do you think it is that so many different people from Undeclared, it also applies to Freaks and Geeks, then went on to have success on their own?
I don't know. I just assumed that really Judd had a super sharp eye. I don't see any other way to see it. He just knew his best talent is finding talent, and he always knows who really has it. And so he collected all those people, and almost all of them, I think all of them, as far as I know, have been successful and had good shit happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got a keen eye.
When you guys were growing up, who were the comedians or the writers or the directors that you looked to who now have an influence on what you guys are doing?
Kids in the Hall was a big thing for us.
Yeah, we loved Kids in the Hall. SNL also.
Obviously, yeah.
We loved like Sam Raimi's movies a lot, like Army of Darkness and Evil Dead.
We were like obsessed
with Army of Darkness. I was into like, you weren't as into it, but I was into like Peter Jackson, like Dead Alive and stuff.
I've still never seen Dead Alive.
Yeah, but it's great.
I just missed that party. I would have been.
We were obsessed with Quentin Tarantino, honestly. Like he was our favorite. Like to this day, he is. I mean, he.
So
like,
this is a PSA. Cast these guys in your next movie.
Exactly, but like Pulp Fiction, like. We were completely obsessed with that.
It very well might be the best movie ever.
Yeah, it's so good. Tonally, I feel like we are heavily inspired by that movie, like the way the violence has like a humor to it, and the way people react to it.
Well, you certainly see that in This Is the End, because that's kind of the first movie with a real horror bent. I mean, there's some in Pineapple Express, too, not horror, but the action and the violence.
Yeah, and I think like it's heavily inspired by what he is able to pull off tonally. And Preacher, in a lot of ways, is in a similar world, honestly.
Do you guys want to produce more television, or is this just
we are. We're working on it. We got a bunch of projects we're going with.
Yeah, we have
just one of them.
Yeah, we were working on a pilot with HBO and another pilot with AMC and an animated pilot with FX. So yeah, we're trying to do a lot of television.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what else should everybody know about Neighbors before you guys get out of here?
It seems to be hilarious. And
I was in the festival where the funniest movie I've seen so far was not in the festival, but just this year was Bad Words, Jason Bateman's.
I hear that's great.
It's
I
really
watched half
funny.
of it before I left, and it was awesome. I can't wait to finish it.
And your guys' movie just kind of supplanted that atop. So
Thank you
the reaction was really good on Saturday.
Yeah, it played great. So if you see it, you'll laugh.
And it comes out in May.
Comes out May 9th. Please see it.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can I get a photo of the three of you real quick?
Yeah, totally.
Sure. 1, 2, 3. And one for safety.
That's convenient.
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
What's this thing?
That's
the webcam.
We have
This
two
is the-
tapes at once.
Ooh.
Cool. For real. Good day. The computer's for, I know it needs to be password.
You have Rebecca's password?
Jesus. In LA, I would die already.
I know.
Subtle. Yep.